Can you explain like the actual steps that would have to be involved and how they can make that happen?
Yeah, when you have these irrevocable trusts, and you can call it a dynasty trust if it goes out multiple generations, it's a dynasty trust. If there's spousal access, it's a slat. Ultimately, these are irrevocable trusts. There's going to be a trustee, but there's also going to be trust protector. There's going to be these different other roles, and they can direct the trustee to do things on behalf of the beneficiaries of the trust. So they can say, hey, we want you to go get a policy loan from the carrier. We want you to invest in this project. They're going to review the trust documents and say, is this in alignment with the trust documents? Yes, then they go and execute on that. Over here, we would just be operating as the trustee and the trust director and all of those ourselves and doing it on ourselves. So there's a layer there because we're trying to capture all that growth outside of the taxable estate, but it operates the same way, and they definitely do that.
Is there any tax benefits of doing it through an irrevocable trust, or is it
income tax?
Just income tax. Like, is there any personal benefit to the consumer to do a life insurance through trust, or is it mainly like the trust is set up for legacy, but just because you have an irrevocable trust doesn't mean you can't have access to that pool of capital throughout your life?
Correct. So you would likely not want that complexity if you weren't in an estate tax situation.
Yeah.
If you didn't have an estate tax situation, you may still choose to use an ILET, more of a simple ILET or something, to have those guardrails for your beneficiaries. And then you may have an opportunity that comes up and you say, hey, is it better for me to invest in it personally, or should I do that through my trust? What's the purpose of it? Do I need the income? No? Then I might do it through my trust. So there's several kind of decision points in there that people would need to make, but I would say generally you'd probably do it personally owned unless you have an estate tax concern.
Yep. So if someone's watching this and worth a few $1 million, they shouldn't necessarily run to a trust to then be the owner of the insurance policy. Like but there could be benefits of still having a trust. It doesn't necessarily need to be irrevocable where that money can go, because it's my understanding how trusts work that they become irrevocable when you pass off, and so you can still get the benefits of both worlds. You just don't get the estate benefit. But if you're for many people, they don't have to worry about paying estate taxes.
Correct. Yeah. Revocable trusts, you can have, some people call them springing trusts or testamentary trusts, where you get to still define what that trust is going to look like during your lifetime, and you can change it because it's revocable. But once you pass away, it's now going to spring into existence and accept the estate at that point, and now you've got guardrails in place. So that's kind of a good way to use irrevocable trust if you're not worried about estate taxes, but you want to have guardrails and you want to be able to protect against the division risk, which is just giving the money to my beneficiaries, per stirpus as the technical term, and just dividing it out.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of wisdom in that.